Welcome to Columbia, Missouri and Mizzou Arena, where tonight the number 2 team in the nation, the Florida Gators, come to visit number 7, the Missouri Tigers, in what looks to be a fantastic top 10 matchup in women's collegiate gymnastics. Hello everyone, I am John Roethlisberger, joined by Olympic silver medalist and NCAA champion Sam Pesek. Sam, Florida has dominated this matchup over the course of these two programs' histories, but tonight feels like a great chance for the home team to maybe get that win.
Well, both teams are coming off of their season high, but let's not kid ourselves. Missouri wants that win tonight.
They want it bad. It would be their first SEC win of the season, but it's going to be tough. They're going up against a couple of tough all-arounders, 2 of the top 3 in the nation for the Florida Gators, Selena Harris-Miranda and MJ Frazier.
Well, Selena is top 6 on every event, and she's also over a 9.9 average on every event too. Truly remarkable. MJ Frazier is just so dynamic, confident. She has stunning presentation, and she just competed the hardest vault in NCAA gymnastics, a Yurchenko double full. She's slated to compete that here again tonight.
They will be fun to watch. Now on the Missouri side, Hannah Horton didn't come in as a star for the Missouri Tigers, but she's absolutely developed into one.
And now she's an anchor on 2 events. She's always been talented, but head coach Shannon Welker said her drill work and her gymnastics IQ has increased over time, and that's the biggest reason why she's been able to be so productive this season.
She will need a big night if Missouri's going to get the win here today. Well, we do not travel this journey alone with a third member of our team, Taylor Davis. She's got more on Missouri.
Thank you, John. Well, if you're looking for some early season tests, look no further than this Missouri schedule. This is the 4th consecutive week they have faced a top 3 team in the nation: Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, and now the Florida Gators. Now, they've been unable to get a win in that stretch, but statistically at a better point this year than they were this time last year. We all know how well that turned out. Now, I spoke with the athletes and they said the record cannot distract us from the progress that we have seen so far in this season. But like you both mentioned, a hunger to get this win here tonight. John, it would be the highest ranked win in Mizzou's program history.
It would absolutely be a big one for the Tigers. You mentioned that finish last year. They finished 3rd at the NCAAs, their best finish in program history. So they are on a roll, and a lot has to do, if not all, with that man right there, Shannon Welker, in his 13th season. Right from the start, from year 1 to year 2, a huge jump, one of the biggest jumps in the history of women's collegiate gymnastics as far as rankings are concerned, and he is blowing through all these records over the last decade, Sam.
Well, I thought it was interesting on our call. He just said last year's accomplishments are this year's opportunities, and beautifully said.
Jenny Rowland, in her 11th season as the Florida head coach, came in after 3 national titles, and that is the bar that's been set for the Florida Gators, and she hasn't got there yet, but man, the team she has now, it is an all-star team. I think everyone around the country, even the defending champs like Oklahoma, point to this roster and go, man, Florida, they've got some talent.
You just look at the start list of those Florida athletes, and they've done so much competitively, competing internationally, competing and getting NCAA titles here. It's just truly remarkable, these team of individuals now competing for Florida.
The Missouri Tigers, as the home team, they will be starting off on the vault. They go in what we call the Olympic order. They'll finish on floor exercise. The Florida Gators, the visitors, they start on bars, an event they're tremendous on, but they got to finish on balance beam. Here's Kennedy Griffin, now the junior, to get things going. So important for Missouri to get a strong start here, especially going up against that strong bars team for Florida.
Starting really nice, Yurchenko full. She was very forward on the table, which actually helped get her a huge block into the air. Really phenomenal air awareness to just plant those feet and keep them steady.
And the name of the game tonight might be stuck landing, Sam. We saw one right out of the gate. Kennedy Griffin nails that Yurchenko full. Stuck landing, so critical in women's collegiate gymnastics. Good start for the Tigers. Here we go with MJ Frazier, number 3 in the nation in the all-around, leads off on bars. What a leadoff athlete to have.
To have a leadoff athlete score a 9.9 easily, that's MJ Frazier. Those are the teams that are going to be vying for an NCAA title. You want to get a 9.9 to start with. Dynamic to the vertical handstand shape. Good smooth rhythm from high to low. gonna finish double layout, spots the ground, and that's what makes her such a strong leadoff. Not only does she have 0 built-in deductions, look at this form. Straight to the high bar, legs straight, and then she lets go at the perfect time. You see the leg separation a little bit here, but the judges are seeing a side angle. I'm not sure if they saw that, but to lock it in for a stick, we're 1 for 1 on sticks for both of these teams.
What a start for the #1 team in the country on bars, the Florida Gators. Now Rayleigh Jackson over on the vault for Missouri. She was tremendous here last week, 9.95. Oh man, they need scores like that tonight if they're gonna hang with Florida.
She's worked so hard on this vault.
Man, she wanted that stuck landing.
She wanted it, and you know, she got a really good pop off the table, but it's like she second-guessed her landing and rushed it right at the finish. That's the tough part about gymnastics. You know this, John. If you rush any piece of it, unfortunately, you're going to have a mistake.
Florida bar rotation, we mentioned how good this one is. 5 of the 6 competing gymnasts are in the top 25 in the nation. That's not fair if you're the rest of the country. Hey, side note to this, 5 of the 6 competing athletes for Florida on bars have competed at a world championship. Not just great collegiate gymnasts, but great elite gymnasts, Sam.
Well, let me throw one more stat at you.
Bring it.
50% of their lineup is top 7 on bars in the nation right now.
Here's the junior Anya Pilgrim.
Starting off with a Maloney right here. Doesn't quite get her normal catch.
Yeah, it looked like she barely got her hands on that.
Yeah, she's doing a good job fighting through that. That means she's having to take a little extra break to find her rhythm again. It was a good routine, but it was a routine that had some mistakes and not her best.
Take a look at this, Sam. It looked like she didn't quite get her hands on cleanly.
Yeah, she let go a little bit too late and didn't get the hip drive that she needed to.
It'll be interesting to see from a start value perspective what that score ends up as, because she could get hit on that start value side. We will see not just the execution side. Kaya Tonskinen now, another world team member. She was on the world team for Finland at these last world championships, finished 15th in the all-around.
New vault this year, high pass, still a 10-0 start value. That is what Missouri is wanting to see. Head coach Shannon Welker said they have a goal. They want to get 40% or better sticks on vault, bars, and beam. This is a strong start for them. I saw straight arms on the table. She gets her chest up on the landing.
Such a smart vault, too. We've seen more and more of these in women's collegiate gymnastics. You can see the ground coming. The Yurchenko 1.5, definitely harder to stick, and you can see why it might pay off there. Another sensational bar worker, Riley McCusker. She's gotten a 10 here. She is one of those former world team members, also competed at the Olympic trials in 2021. She is a senior. And it looks like we had talked about that Anya Pilgrim score and what the judges might do with it. Looks like they're taking their time trying to figure that one out. I suspect, Sam, it's going to be that low score that Florida will want to drop. MJ Frazier, obviously, that 9-9 to lead off with. Here we go with Riley McCusker.
She shared the SEC bar title last year with a perfect 10. So another one of these athletes in the lineup that just has impeccable form. Aggressive kick. Nice positioning before she caught the bar. Had to work to get to that handstand position. Finishing double back. Oh. Saw her warm those up, and it didn't look anything like that. She did a much better job getting her chest up on the landing, but it looked like she surprised herself. Watch her legs when she lands. Her upper body was just too far in front of herself, miscalculated that one.
That's going to be a significant deduction. Knee touched the ground, big step low on the landing, and that comes after a 9.45 for Anya Pilgrim. This is not how the #1 team in the country on bars wanted to start, but it's an opportunity now for the Missouri Tigers and Kamara Eccles, the freshman.
And look at how high she gets off this table. Just a Yurchenko full, but it could easily be a double because she has so much height. I think she almost lost the frame because she was so high in the air.
And we saw her, I saw her stick that in the warm-ups, and you can see why. Sees the ground coming a mile away.
Huge block off the table. You also see how high she is, but straight legs, good positioning, hop on the landing, and whether it's a small hop, it can be up to 1/10. If it's a medium, if the judges deem that as a medium hop, it's a 1.5 tenths.
Her head looked like it was about 7 feet above that table, which equates to about 12 feet above the hard floor below, which that's above the rim if you're measuring at home. Now the pressure moves to Kayla DiCello because you can see 2 scores in the 9-4s. Who thought this was going to happen? This is a bad spot for the Gators. They're going to have to count one of those.
Well, she's coming off of a season best last weekend, 9.925, and this is looking sharp so far. Kayla does her best when she's aggressive, and I can see that on bars too.
They needed that. Stop the bleeding.
There was something that happened last week where it just unlocked for Kayla. Head coach Jenny Rowland said that there was a lot of good last week, and it was Kayla's confidence and Sky's confidence that really attributed to them having such a strong weekend. And for her to lock it in 2 weekends in a row, that's going to help her confidence even more.
They needed that one from Kayla DiCello. You mentioned Sky Blakely. She'll be up next. 2 world medalists, and then the #2 gymnast in the country, Selena Harris-Miranda, to finish that rotation out. So good vibes there after some tough bar routines. Here's Elise Tisler, the senior for the Tigers.
1.5, very clean landing. Good control, just that hop forward.
That comes after Kamara Eccles, 9.825. So all scores 9.8 or better. You can see the score tower on the right. Those are all the scores for each team in the rotation. The athletes competing, obviously, their names are up there. The lowest score, that is the one that will be dropped. They count the 5 best scores. The lightly shaded one in that score tower is the one that would be currently dropped should it remain the lowest number. Now, Sky Blakely, tremendous week last week. She's the SEC Specialist of the Week. She was outstanding.
Sam, you mentioned the confidence of Sky Blakely being key here. This entire rotation, she has not been watching any of her teammates' routines. It's different for every athlete. She's been with them to celebrate, but has kept in her bubble, not watching the routines ahead of her.
Probably a smart move considering what has happened in front of her.
And strong routine here. Step on the dismount, but I love how much difficulty she has. She has such dynamic, difficult skills in this bar routine. I could watch that all day.
She was a bar finalist at the last World Championships. Finished 4th. I'll tell you what, Sam, you and I watched that. We covered that one, and I think we agreed she should have been in the top 3. Should have got a medal on that bar routine. Now the anchor, Hannah Horton, out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Looking for a big one here. 9.85 for Elise Tisler.
One last, Yurchenko, 1.5 in their lineup. Oh, man, and you could see how much adrenaline she had just running down the vault runway. Something that they've been working on with Hannah is really that consistency aspect and focusing on the technique so that the emotions and the excitement of a meet don't amplify your power when you're running down the runway.
It is crazy how easy that vault is for her. I mean, she needs to almost throw her hands above her head before she lands if she wants to stick it. Now, talk about sticking landings. Selena Harris-Miranda, no one does it better. And she is in a pressure spot right here in this anchor position. Still waiting for that Sky Blakely score. Kayla DiCello at 9.9. They are counting that 9.45. Oh, and the release just too far away, and I will tell you what, never If you're just joining us coming off of basketball, we have women's gymnastics, the Florida Gators visiting the Missouri Tigers. We are near the end of this first rotation. Last gymnast, this is Selena Harris Miranda, finishing her bar routine, Sam. She fell from the bars, and this comes after a rotation for Florida where they already have 2 scores in the 9-4s. This is a catastrophic start for the number 2 team in the nation.
Really uncharacteristic, first of all, of Selena. She was right there. It looks like she didn't quite get her dowel over the bar enough to hang on. Man, I'm going to say uncharacteristic, but 3 pretty significant mistakes in that lineup for the number 1 ranked team in the country on bars. I would not have predicted that one.
I mean, she is 13 for 13 this season on routine, scoring a 9-9 or better. And this is a moment where you absolutely needed a big score. So they're going to count 2 missed routines are the Florida Gators, and that is an opportunity, big-time opportunity for the Missouri Tigers.
Coming into this meet, Missouri wanted the win, but I know that they want Florida to be at their best for them to take the win, but I think they'll still take the win regardless.
Hannah Horton finished up that Missouri Tiger vault rotation with a 9.775, and that's disappointing for the Tigers because they had a chance there to put up a 9.9 plus with that big-time vault from Hannah Horton, but nonetheless, they count all scores of a 9.8 or better. They are going to have the lead, and I don't think a lot of people thought Florida bars versus Missouri vault, Missouri would have a shot at the lead. This bodes really well for them.
This is a really good learning opportunity for Florida to be chasing in this competition, to see how their athletes handle this type of pressure. Can they just keep chipping away and rowing and decreasing that difference in those scores? It's possible. They have the athletes to do that, but now it's going to be a mental game for Florida.
It is going to be a little bit of a hill to climb for the Florida Gators as the Missouri Tigers are going to have the lead after this first rotation. Women's college gymnastics is brought to you by Sealy Posturepedic, expertly engineered for superior support. Welcome back to Mizzou Arena. John Roethlisberger, Sam Pesek, Taylor Davis as well, covering what has been a surprising first rotation. The Florida Gators in a big hole after that first rotation on an event they dominate on the uneven bars. Missouri with that lead. It is an interesting start as you see our countdown clock to the next rotation. Sam, let's look at that bar rotation and what went wrong for the Gators.
Riley McCusker finishing her dismount and just her legs buckling, and it almost looked like a surprise to her. Me too, watching that. Selena Harris Miranda, who is usually so clutch, especially when there's more pressure on her, just mistimed her release move and was maybe less than an inch away from getting that dowel around the bar.
Florida's lowest bar score since 2010. And to even add to something, that is on a bar rotation that's number 1 in the nation. Let's go down to Taylor Davis.
Guys, definitely a bit of a shock. Like you mentioned, bars is a piece that Florida has such confidence in. So starting in this way caught this team a little bit off guard, but I gathered around the huddle with them. Jenny Rowland told them, 1 down, and however that was going to go, you put it behind you. Whether it was successful or struggle, you put it behind you, and that's exactly what I need to see. She said, we are the fighting Gators, not just the Florida Gators. We fight, and now is an opportunity that I've got to see your fight.
Well, that is a message, Taylor, that the Gators absolutely had to hear from their head coach because they are going to have an uphill battle. They go to vault. That is an event they are tremendous on. The Missouri Tigers go to the uneven bars. Can they pull off this big win at home? Nation, the Florida Gators versus the number 7 team in the nation, the host team, the Missouri Tigers, and it's the Missouri Tigers with almost a 7/10 lead after that first rotation, Sam Pesek, and it's because Florida, they fell apart on the bars, their best event.
I am still so surprised because this team is just a whole team of bar workers. And for them to not just have one mistake, but a few uncharacteristic mistakes in their lineup, I mean, I think they're probably just as surprised as I am.
So now the pressure moves to Florida on the vault. This is an event that has not gone smooth for them this season, but it's also an event they are tremendous on. When you look at them on paper, they are one of the best in the nation, but they haven't quite put it together. Now they're going to lead off with Kayla DiCello, an important position for this team right here.
Just last week, it was Kayla's first time leading off on vault, and she actually loved it. After meet weekends, they come in as a team and watch film, and they talk about what went well, what they liked, and she actually told head coach Jenny Rowland, I loved going first because I didn't have time to overthink. And so Jenny was really happy to hear that because she has strong bookends with Kayla DiCello in that leadoff and Selena Harris-Miranda in the anchor. Starting with Yurchenko, 1.5, blind landing. Ooh, good save from Kayla DiCello. I thought she was really behind herself and was at risk for rotating the landing. She opened up a smidge too early, but used her core to actually bring her upper body more in that vertical position when her feet hit the ground. Impressive.
So decent start there for the Gators. Lauren McPherson will lead things off for Missouri on the uneven bars. Competed here 5 times, has 3 scores of 9.75 or lower, though, out of 5 performed routines. 9.7s are not the type of scores that typically you want to see here from these top teams.
Shy on that first handstand. It's really important that Missouri continues this momentum here. Swinging aggressive, nice, locked in, vertical position, tuck full in dismount. Hop on the dismount, but I'm impressed that she just took that one hop. She was thinking about moving her foot again, but she minimized that landing deduction. Judges are looking for vertical. They have 10 degree of a range. We'll see what the judges do if that pass handstand was in or out of that 10 degree range.
If we've learned anything about collegiate gymnastics is don't give them the chance.
Right.
Don't make a gray area. They will love to take the deduction. Amelia Dizador, the freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, not too far from here. She is in the 2 spot behind Kayla DiCello's 9.8.
1.5 looked a little funky on the board, actually. I thought there was a hiccup, and she also under-rotated her dismount at the end. Strong block position, and just opens, similar to Kayla, opens her body a smidge too early, and that's why you saw the under-rotation.
And just to be honest with you, in the world of collegiate gymnastics, that is a vault that you're not happy with. The Florida Gators, that's going to be in that 9.8 range, maybe a little lower. So those are the ones they let get away a little bit. Olivia Kelly, the sophomore, on bars, following a 9.8 from McPherson.
Well, I liked seeing her hold that handstand position. Huge release move. That first one was called a church into an immediate overshoot connection. She has really long, beautiful lines when she swings. Finishing double tuck. Man, Missouri needs to get those stuck landings. They're doing a really good job here. Watch how high she gets off the bar, but she bent her arms when she caught. That'll be a little deduction.
Let's go over to Vault and Taylor.
Guys, down here by Florida, another mental adjustment made this week. Jenny Rowland told us they had a vault talk, talked about what they each individually needed. Skylar Drazer's been sitting down here with AirPods, listening to music the entire time, especially with the rough rotation. That mental approach, Sam, has got to be key.
Yeah, it's so important that you have your own system before you salute. Skylar has been in that lead-off position, so she's really good about getting a restart for the team. Gave it a little more juice than her teammates did.
And there's a gray area. Perfect example. She took a hop. Did she hold that, or did she take another step? And just the way things are going, it feels like that is going to be 2 deductions, which means another score down in that 9.8-ish range, which again, these teams, 9-8s, if I'm going to give you a kind of a description, is a score that will keep you in it. A 9-9 plus are scores that help you win it. Anything lower than a 9-8 helps you lose it. So just keep that in mind as we go through this competition. Kaya Tonskanen, first bar appearance this season, follows that 9.85 from Olivia Kelly.
This is also her all-around debut, and I asked the coaches why now, and they said she's looking so good. She's one of the most competitive athletes on the team. She's been working on these details, especially on bars. Nice. Floaty, pack salto. Good aggressive kick in that handstand position. Looking for a stick. Oh.
Tiny hop.
Not going to be a big deduction because of how small that hop was, but still nonetheless a deduction.
And swinging on the bars runs in her family. Her uncle, Yanni, won the world title on the horizontal bar in 1997. Guess who else was in that world championship, Sam?
Who?
Yours truly.
Wow.
I didn't win any gold medals, though, sadly. I got one. It was actually foil and chocolate on the inside, but that's a whole nother story. Here we go. Big vault coming up here from MJ Frazier.
Hardest vault in NCAA gymnastics. UCLA Jordan Childs does this vault as well. Yurchenko double full, twisting twice in the air.
Gotta have a big one here for the Gators.
Oh, really crunched on the table.
Just not happening for Florida so far tonight through the first rotation and most of this vault rotation.
Sometimes when you're trying too hard, you rush, and this is where we're seeing the issues right there. Not only did she come in with bent arms, but you actually can see she's starting to twist a little bit right off that table. And I'm going to say impressive to land on her feet after that. That's how quick-twitched of an athlete she is.
I tell you what, you and I, Sam, have both landed like that in gymnastics, and I'm not going to speak for MJ, but that never feels good.
Oh, man, no. But Florida needs to remember, you can't erase bars. You can't make up for bars.
Now the freshman Maya Terry follows 3 scores of 9-8 or better from Missouri. Looking for those big numbers. Again, 9-9s. Those are the ones that win it for you. 3 of them here would be big for the Tigers.
She does a huge Ginger release move right here. Wow.
Beautiful.
Little leg separation. Curious if the judges saw it from the angle they're sitting at. But really nice lines in that handstand position. Just a joy to watch her swing bars, and she's just a freshman, got the first stick for Missouri. She's got a bright future, to say the least.
This reminds me of Nastia Lukin back in your day, Sam.
Huge Ginger, caught with the straight arms. Good tuck full in dismount. The biggest deduction I saw there was a little leg separation in that Ginger release move. But other than that, this should be their strongest score.
9.65 for MJ Frazier. Danny Ferris now. It is must hit big time for Florida.
Her job is to be aggressive, go big, gets the job done, really solid landing. That's what Florida wants to do. You almost see a sigh of relief from the coaches there.
Let's head back over to bars and Taylor Davis. Taylor?
Well, guys, Hannah Horton is a product of family sacrifice. Both of her parents are originally from Liberia. They moved the family to the States in the early 2000s during the war in Liberia in hopes to provide their children with better schooling and opportunities such as this one. Hannah told me that on her official visit, her dad immediately bonded with Shannon Welker to the point that when Mizzou offered Hannah, her dad accepted before she had the opportunity to. But she said it was such a proud moment for him to know all the sacrifice that the family had made amounted to her becoming the first member of her family to receive a full athletic scholarship.
Wow, Taylor, well, it's been such a joy to follow her career so far here at Missouri. She is so fun to watch because of how quick-twitched of an athlete she is. She's such a fast twister, but even in those handstand positions, she's able to just get her heels up so fast to the correct positions. Finishing double layout. Let's get it, girl. Oh, man. It's those landings. She could see it on her face. She knew she had it.
A hop and a step, which each one of those could be a half tenth or more.
She was able to stick this dismount last week, but just couldn't get the chest up. Sometimes all a stick is in your head, because if you did it last week, you're trying to repeat and you're focusing too hard for keeping your feet planted. Unfortunately, you're not going to get the job done.
If you want a stuck landing, and as close to a guarantee as you're going to get, look no further than Selena Harris Miranda, and specifically on this vault.
Yurchenko 1.5 and just locks it in.
Unbelievable.
Like it's easy money right there.
And that is absolutely what the Florida Gators needed. You can see those scores are already counting a 9.75. Not this one, though.
And she is just so patient in that block. She waits for her hands to leave the table before she starts twisting. And then I think she has some of the best air awareness of any gymnast in the nation to know exactly where she is, adjust, and then be able to stick the landing every single time.
And she just does that vault so consistently. She does it the same every time. And once you get comfortable with the same exact vault, you know where you're going to be, and then the stuck landings come. And that is as sure as the sun rising in the east. Selena Harris Miranda is going to stick a vault. Kamara Eccles now in the anchor spot, following that 9.8 from Hannah Horton.
This athlete is a bar swinger, only a freshman, but ranked 10th on bars. Wow. Love to see that hold. Beautiful release move, back up to a handstand. Again, good hold there. Missouri's looking for another stick. Oh, man. We heard they're working on their stick sellies. That's called a blind change to a Horkina. Double layout dismount, her legs are glued. I like to see that. And you know when she sticks that, her score is gonna be even better.
There's the primary bar coach, associate head coach Whitney Snowden. She has done such a great job with this bar lineup. She's also expecting, and we're told that it's coming up on the day. I mean, it could be in the second half of this competition, Sam, and wouldn't that be a story to tell?
Oh man, I'd like to see that. I'm sure she would not.
She has just been outstanding. I joke with Shannon Welker every time I talk to him that, man, you can't give her enough raises. She is so valuable to this team. While we're waiting for that score, let's go down to Taylor. She is with one of the Florida Gators.
Thank you very much, John. Well, Kayla, some uncharacteristic elements to that early bars routine. What are keys for you guys to continuing on like you did on vault?
You know, just having a little reset moment, going back and just focusing on what we can do, forgetting what just happened and just moving on from there. I mean, vault, that went really well for us, and so just continuing this momentum as we go into floor.
You and I have talked about your return to NCAA competition, 2.5 years away from this. How do you tap into some of your prior experience in moments like this?
You know, I mean, I think the biggest thing is really just remembering this is gymnastics and things are not going to go your way. And so really you just have to remember that as a team, we're strong. This is what we're built for. We practice this every single day. So relying just on our practices and our trust, and we'll be just fine.
And that's exactly how you're back doing what you're doing. Look forward to seeing you on Beam. Thanks, Kayla.
Thank you.
John.
Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, they still have some work to do. The lead is the same, .675 for the Missouri Tigers. Kamara Eccles finished with that bar routine of 9.875. We're halfway through, and the Missouri Tigers, they've got a big lead. Arena, we are heading into rotation 3 and 4. You can see the countdown clock, and right now it is Missouri Tigers with a commanding lead, almost 7/10. They maintain that lead from rotation 1 to rotation 2. It's gonna make for a very exciting second half for Tiger fans. And speaking of Tiger fans, Sam, Hannah Horton is one of the favorites. She has done such a tremendous job coming in, really not as a star, but has really developed one. Shannon Welker saw something special in her.
Well, and now I think you would look at her and say, man, she is easily a 5-star recruit. She is just so impressive, oozing with talent, and you could just see that she's still growing in her potential. The coaches couldn't say better things about her on the call, and obviously she's putting up those big scores too.
Yeah, she's done a tremendous job. 9-9 plus on every event, flirting with those 10s, and Taylor Davis is with her right now. Taylor?
Thank you so much, John. Well, Hannah, we've talked about your story, the raw athleticism growing up to a refined collegiate gymnast here at Mizzou. How has this transformation happened for you?
Honestly, this transformation is honestly like just a blessing, and I'm just so grateful to be able to compete for Mizzou and rep the Tigers. And I'm just glad to have my team with me, the coaches believing in me, just keep on reassuring me, allowing me to have fun and love or enjoy what I love to do. So.
We also talked about how much pride you carry being the first member of your family to receive a full athletic scholarships, your parents committing to this life for you, moving to the States from Liberia. What does it mean to you every night when you wear this leotard, not only representing Missouri, but representing your family?
It's also just a blessing because, well, academics is very important to my family, of course, so I'm here also for school, but to be able to be here and compete at a collegiate level and also to have my school paid for is just nice to see. And I know my family, like even family back home, is cheering me on from Facebook and behind the screen, so I just feel the love. So, yeah.
We're 2 rotations in, and a big win potentially could happen tonight. What do y'all have to do to get this one?
Honestly, just do what we normally do, have fun. Try not to put too much pressure on ourselves because we know how to do it. We practice day in, day out. Just trust in our coaches, trust in our practice, and just have fun on the floor. So
the results will come. Thanks for the time, Hannah. You heard the girl, everybody. More action coming up here in Como. 2 rotations to determine a winner of this top 10 matchup. Don't go anywhere.
ESPN. The home team, the Missouri Tigers, that guy, the head coach, Shannon Welker, left hand of your screen. They've got a big-time lead, almost 7/10 of a point, Sam. They move into the balance beam rotation. You can see that lead stayed the same. The meet doesn't start until you go to beam, but, man, they've got to be happy with this. And this would be the biggest win over a ranked team as far as their ranking of their opponent in Missouri's history. It would be big for them.
Well, you know what's funny, John, is head coach Shannon Welker told us that they're struggling to find new things to celebrate because they've had such a productive and a big last few years. So this would be another notch to add to their belt.
The Florida Gators currently undefeated in the SEC, looking for another top 15 win and also to try to keep pace with the only other undefeated team up there in the standings in the SEC, the Oklahoma Sooners, to win that regular season title. So that is important as well, as we see the senior Amy Weir out of St. Louis, Missouri, and Jim Quarters, the Cusamanos. I talked to them before the competition as well, just down the street, coached her in club.
This leadoff position is not new for Amy, and she just owns it. She looks really calm, really comfortable up there, and the way that she works beam, it's like she's on the floor. Oh. Broken connection on that series. Your arms have to keep moving. So she did a back handspring layout there instead of a back handspring, really quick on her feet. And to do the layout and not even have a wobble, that's impressive. I like that you can see her visibly breathing throughout the beam routine. Sometimes when athletes have a wobble, they get really flustered and they react to the issue, and I actually see the opposite here with Amy. She almost looks more calm now. Keeping it loose, keeping it light up there. Finishing Gator full. Listen, it wasn't her best routine, but man, coaches want to see that if you have a mistake, how can you adjust quickly to make it work?
Yeah, nice start for Missouri on beam. First place in the SEC is on the line in our ABC Sunday women's basketball matchup. Number 3, South Carolina squares off against the 19th ranked Tennessee Vols. Coverage begins 3 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. So 0.675, that is a healthy lead in women's gymnastics. A fall is half a point. And remember, if you have one fall, not catastrophic, you got to count the top 5 scores. So a bit of a cushion for the Tigers. If you're Florida and Amelia Dizador, you just got to hit. You've got to hit at a high level. You've got to rack up the 9-9s and hope that the Tigers open the door just a little bit and give you that chance to walk through it and steal the win.
Opens, double layout.
Perfect.
No issues on the landing. She moves so well on floor. And when I asked the coaches, why is she in this leadoff spot? They said, well, you know, she's dynamic and she is typically so clean. And that's exactly what I'm seeing from her here tonight.
She's got a high on this event of a 9.9. That was versus Alabama. That would be tremendous to start with here for the Gators.
Well, good start for Florida.
Absolutely all they can do. Hit routines. There's no defense in gymnastics. They can't control what Missouri's doing. They've just got to be as perfect as they can be.
Good timing on this double layout. Was a little short, so had to whip her feet back down quickly, but nice adjustment there. Finishing with combination pass, working quickly into that dance. A lot of athletes try to do those choreography out of their skills to minimize any potential deductions.
Had a bit of a judges conference on that Amy Weir routine, but they settle in on that 9.8, so a good score to lead off with for Missouri as Lauren McPherson mounts the beam. Taylor?
Lauren McPherson joins competition this year. She missed the entire season last year with an Achilles tear after transferring from San Jose State. She just turned 24 years old, and head coach Shannon Welker told us she maybe had a brief moment last season wondering, hey, is it time to move on to the next chapter? But she was fueled by the success of this program last year, and it seemed to have worked out for the best. Shannon Welker telling us, ironically, I think we needed her more this year than we even did last year.
Yeah, and I just found out she tore her Achilles the day before the first meet last season. Solid. So it means, as somebody that's torn her Achilles, every single day you get to do this sport after is really an opportunity, and it's so much fun. Hopefully she sees it that way as well.
You came back from that injury, right, Sam? And so it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing to be able to get yourself to believe your body can handle gymnastics again.
Yeah, this is a good event to test it on because you have to be confident on beam. There's no faking it up there. Last meet, she got a 9.95. Man, that arm circle, but she had the landing. Again, they don't need to be perfect. They just need to hit their routines. You want to be 180. You can see here she's clearly above 180. That's good news. Going directly into her split jump, finishing 1.5, just was on her heels a smidge too much.
Technically a stuck landing, but that arm swing opens yourself up to deductions as well. Judges do not like to see that. That will shock nobody at home, I'm sure. So Amelia Dizador, a 9.85. Didn't get that 9.9, but still a good start score. Now Danny Ferris hoping to build on that. That is what you like to do with your lineup. Start big and just continue to go up and hope those last couple athletes can flirt with that 10.0.
She's a powerful athlete doing another double layout similar to her teammate Amelia. such a fun routine to celebrate her mother's Moroccan heritage. This is another new pass for Danny. Nicely done. She is so solid, especially on these leg events.
Two for two for the Florida Gators.
Watch how high she gets on this double layout. Well, she actually rushed her chest there at the beginning, but was still able for her hips to rise. She's just so quick. Legs together on that combination pass. And they're 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
They want to keep building. They got to keep building.
They got to keep building. Try to just shave a half tenth, maybe a tenth when you go routine for routine with the Missouri Tigers. You can see they started with a pair of 9/8. We'll see what that Danny Ferris scores, but they got a half tenth on that first one, and then you just keep putting the pressure on the Tigers, and maybe, just maybe, they can make some magic. Olivia Kelly here now in the third spot.
Front aerial into that back handspring. And this is really a big opportunity for Olivia because head coach Shannon Welker said this third spot right here is one that they're hoping to solidify. They're not quite sure. Grace Ann Davis, the grad student, was in this position last week. There's about 3 athletes fighting for this spot.
Olivia Kelly, another one of those world team members. She competed for Barbados at the World Championships.
Difficult.
Florida Gator on your pilgrim.
Doing that difficult wolf turn. You know what I appreciate about this Missouri team is they got the difficult skills too. They are going big. Finishing with a 1.5.
There you go.
That's the solid stick. And the question I have is going to be for the coaches. Did she solidify herself in that lineup? Because that looked pretty good to me. Front aerial, your arms must keep moving above your head, and she did a good job of that. Finishing 1.5 and just gets it in the sweet spot. Amari Celestine, that's a name we all remember. She is so fun. She's still fun to watch, and she's not even in a leotard doing her floor routine.
But she's still training, we've been told, in elite and trying to make a run at competing at the national championships and maybe, just maybe, LA in 2028. Man, was she fun to watch in the Missouri Tiger leotard. Here's Taylor Clark now. 9-9 for Danny Ferris. This is exactly what Florida needs to do.
The key for her is not run too hard into this double layout. Otherwise, she's going to go out of bounds just like that.
So much power on that double layout. Beautiful, but just couldn't control that landing.
Sometimes it's harder for athletes that are so powerful to really go 80% versus an athlete that needs to go 100% every single time. And the opposite issue happened there. Just under-rotated that last pass.
Looked like she had plenty of power, just opened up, looked for the ground maybe a little too soon.
She overcorrected herself from that first pass.
Tremendous gymnastics, Sam, but that one is going to be one that they feel like they let one get away, because that was potentially going to go above a 9-9.
Huge double layout and just puts her heel down. Honestly, if she just kept her heel up, easier said than done from where we're sitting, because she has that momentum. I'm not sure if she was able to do that, but just last weekend, Adrienne Boudet told me that she's got to take it easy on that pass because she's just so powerful.
You can step on the line in gymnastics. You cannot step over the line. That is where the deduction comes into place. Kaya Tonskanen now takes to the balance beam following a 9-9 scores, building for Missouri.
She's competed on beam a couple times for them this season, and they made a change from the beginning of the season to a back handspring layout coming right up. No problems. She had a triple series in there, but decided to make that change, and it's been going really well for her in the gym.
Kaya currently leading the all-around over the number 2 and number 3 gymnasts in the country, Selena Harris-Miranda and MJ Frazier, in her all-around debut.
Misconnection, so she danced out of it, tried to finesse. She's gonna repeat that hitch kick to a front toss. And good thing she did, because there was no wobbles, landed with good chest position in that vertical. Finishing 1.5. You know, what I've been impressed with this Missouri team is how adaptable they've been. Coaches told me that's actually the word of the week, is not to react, is just to adapt when there's mistakes. And that's exactly what I see showing up here today.
Nicely done from Kaya. Here's MJ Frazier. Taylor?
Well, John, MJ is getting her master's at Florida in applied physiology and kinesiology with a sports psychology concentration. She told me her time at Cal really opened her eyes up to the mental performance coach industry, and she said it's something she's really been taking earnest on with her own career. I saw her before this full routine. She lays flat on her back. She told me it's meditation. It's full visualization of her entire routine. She said, I get through my warm-ups extra quickly so that I can take time from that mental piece, and she's hoping to have a career in it.
It's so important to learn how you compete at your best. Another double layout in their lineup, but she's a veteran. She knew she was close to that line, so that's why she had that bent knee in the back. Saved herself a 1/10 out of bounds. Coming off a season best 9.95. Good air awareness on that last pass. She's so fun to watch on floor.
Currently second place in the all-around behind Kaya Tonskanen. Better than a 9.925 will get her the lead for that individual title.
Watch her back leg when she steps back. She keeps it in that bent position because she knows just how close she is to that line. Kind of saving herself from even more deductions there. That was really smart.
Savvy move from the veteran. Kaya Tonskanen, 9.775. Currently the low score for Missouri in the uneven bar rotation. Rayleigh Jackson now looking for 2 scores in those 9.9s to keep Florida at arm's length.
Rayleigh's been having such a good year. Front aerial, back handspring. Works out of it. Some athletes are more aggressive, some are a little bit more fluid, which is the style that I see that she's taking on beam.
Has a high score of 9.95 or better on 3 events, including this one here, the balance beam.
Good arm placements throughout that combination. Your arms are basically like your steering wheel on beam. So if they're both off to the left side, guess what? Your whole body is going to the left. So that's why it's really important for your arms to mirror each other and to be on equal sides of the beam, equal distance away from the beam. Finishing gainer pike off the beam. Man, I'm thinking about how high their score could be if these little landings, they're so close to sticking almost all of their landings.
And it doesn't seem as consequential right now because they don't need 995s. They need, mid 9.8s, stay in there, hit routines, and you're going to get the win. But if you're going to see the Florida Gators or the Oklahoma Sooners late in the season, those are the things, those landings right there. You've got to have those if you want to break that 198. That 198 is the magic score in women's gymnastics. You got to be at that or above if you think you're going to win a national championship. And you can't do that if you don't get a lot of those stuck landings.
And Olivia Kelly has that 9.9. She stuck her landing. That's what they got to do.
Sky Blakely now had a tremendous week last week, as we talked about. Going to need a big one here. MJ Frazier, 9.875.
Yeah, Sky got a 10 from one judge last week in career best 9.975. Opening huge for a handspring double front. Typically does a jump out of that. Opted not to here.
And Sky Blakely had 3 career best scores last week against Arkansas.
Big leap combination. I love this Florentine. It's so regal on her. She has that long, lean look, and every move that she does really showcases that well. Good finish. A little fidgety on that last pass. Again, that's where the judges, if they're confused, they're most likely going to take a little deduction. Starting with that front handspring double front and that hop forward, which is a deduction. You can take one step into a lunge, but not a hop. And then a little stutter on that last pass too. Just couldn't quite find her footing on those tumbling passes today.
Really, Jackson, a 9.825 for Missouri in the 5 spot. Addison Lawrence, the senior, now in the anchor position. Good beam rotation from Missouri. Maybe not great, but a chance here to finish strong and keep that lead big heading into the 4th rotation.
Well, this athlete has scored 9.95 4 times this season, and I had the opportunity to talk to one of their coaches, Whitney Snowden, about her early in the warm-up, and wow, that was incredibly crooked. I cannot believe she just made that series. She actually had hip surgery a few years ago, and coaches noticed that she really came back with a different perspective. She really made the most of each practice, and what they noticed the most was how she was able to compete and not be flustered ever. She'll have little mistakes, and this is a perfect example of that, of being completely sideways on the beam and having a millisecond to adjust and fix it, not wobble. I mean, that is elite gymnastics right there.
And she has been consistent. 4 out of 5 of her routines this season, 9.95s. Incredible. Number 6 in the country on this event. There's the stuck landing.
Wow, that is incredible. It's nice that she made that and all, but I am just in awe of how she was able to pull this on. I think it's one of the most difficult series because you have to do a back handspring with your wrong leg. Look at her foot there.
Wow.
She started going crooked after her first acro skill, though, and was slowly able to put it back on.
Guys, I was standing right down here by the beam when that happened. Her teammates all flinched during that, and Whitney Snowden looked at me and said, good for her on correcting that one. But it's like Shannon Welker told us, sometimes the best competitors, they're not on all the time. They just manage the little things so well that no one else can notice.
Well, hey, the word of the week is adaptable, and man, they are taking that to heart.
Well, and apparently you only need half a foot to stay on the beam, Sam. All this time, I thought you had to have your whole foot up there. Well, Addison Lawrence just ruined it for everybody else.
She should get bonus points for that. That's not how the scoring works, by the way, but she should get an impressive point.
Judges taking their time on floor exercises. Selena Harris-Miranda gets ready to go. Top 10 on every, really top 6 on every event. Only one of 2 gymnasts in the nation. The other one just happens to be an Olympic champion. Her name's Jordan Childs. You may have heard of her. Also pretty good at Dancing with the Stars. But Selena Harris-Miranda doesn't get quite the attention of a Jordan Childs, but I'll tell you what, easily one of the best collegiate gymnasts in the nation. Doesn't have that elite pedigree that we've seen from even some of her teammates, Sky Blakely, Kayla DiCello, but when it comes to collegiate gymnastics, she gets it done.
And she responds to mistakes well. She had a fall on bars, uncharacteristic, came back, stuck Yurchenko 1.5, beautifully done. And guess what? If she scores a perfect 10 on floor here today, she'll just get her first gym slam, which means an athlete has scored a perfect 10 on all 4 events. Floor is the missing piece for her.
Not sure what the judges are looking at with Sky Blakely. It comes in, it is a 9.8. Selena Harris-Miranda now. It's tough, Sam. Usually 10s come after other big scores in big moments. I always contend a 10 is an emotional decision. A lot of perfect routines don't get 10s. So I think this is a spot that's going to be tough for Selena to get a 10 because you look right in front of her, 3 scores in the 9.8s. The judges and the crowd and the energy isn't at a 10, which it shouldn't be that way, but I feel like oftentimes it is.
Scores build throughout a lineup typically, and usually there's momentum going into someone who might score a 10. I like to call it the assist in gymnastics, similar to like a goal assist.
Addison Lawrence, 9.95, another one.
Wow.
5th of the season for her. Florida cannot catch Missouri in this rotation, regardless of what Selena gets here, but still, you need a big number to give yourself a chance in the final rotation.
Good tuck full in, keeping both feet planted in the landing. Man, her routine's fun. You can't help but smile when you watch. She engages the crowd well.
Selena, transfer from UCLA before her junior season. Another big-time transfer for Florida.
Upgraded this last pass to 1.5 front full. What a good anchor she is on this lineup. Really making the whole lineup a fun celebration.
I know we saw an uncharacteristic mistake from her on bars, but all the time, just automatic.
Yeah, twist a little early on this full in, but we talk about adapting, and she's just so good at knowing where she is in the air to make those subtle changes right before her feet hit the ground.
So right now the low score for the Gators is a 9.8 in this floor rotation. They're certainly going to drop that with that Selena Harris-Miranda floor routine moments ago. Right now you can see at the bottom, 0.725 is the lead for Missouri. That will go down, but it's still going to be in that 6/10 range. Keep in mind, coming into this rotation, it was 0.675, almost 0.7 of a point. I mentioned it earlier, that is a big lead. That is a buffer of having a fall and not giving up the lead if you're the Missouri Tigers. So there's a 9.9. The lead gets shrunk ever so slightly. It's down to 0.625. Selena Harris-Miranda and the Gators are going to go to the balance beam. Missouri Tigers, they're going to try to close it out on the floor exercise.
For everything.
Let me tell you a story.
about the coach who vaulted women's sports to new heights. An SEC storied film, The Fighting Tiger, Friday at 10:30 p.m.
Legend in women's collegiate gymnastics, and maybe a bigger personality than she even is a legend. Here in Columbia, the Florida Gators, they got some work to do. Over 6/10 they trail the number 7 team in the nation, the Missouri Tigers. The SEC, Sam Pesek, in women's gymnastics continues to be dominant. We see some parity in other sports like football more so than the past, but not in women's gymnastics.
Yeah, you're looking at why the SEC is so dominant. It's the classic iron sharpens out iron, and we're so lucky that we get to watch it every single week. And that's why towards the end of the season, you see them start to reach their potential because they've been challenged throughout the season.
Yeah, top 4 teams in the nation right now, all from the SEC. They were at work tonight as well. The Arkansas Razorbacks, they get a win over Georgia, led by a world team member of her own, Jocelyn Robertson.
She has been so fun to watch at Arkansas, and they've been looking for a breakout meet, and looks like they got one here. Big competition, especially since Georgia's been having a phenomenal year.
Yeah, nicely done for Jocelyn Robertson. Outstanding leader of that team. And they get the win at home. That's a big win for the Razorbacks. Headlines around the SEC. We mentioned that Arkansas win. Oklahoma, they just roll. They just roll. We're going to see them against Florida next week. That'll be fun. And how about Kentucky? One of the worst starts in their program, recent history certainly, but man, they broke a 197. Look out, here they come. Well, the energy here in Mizzou Arena has been solid all night. Taylor's down on the floor in the belly of the beast. Taylor?
Oh, yeah, you know her, you love her. Amari Celestine joins me now. And, John, she may not be competing, but she's been losing her absolute mind up in the stands. First time getting to watch as a fan. Amari, we're in a new arena this year for Mizzou. You guys made history last year. What's it like being back and watching from this vantage point?
I'm like fangirling all over again. It's like I've never met these girls a day in my life. It's so surreal. Like, I'm getting hot. Like, I know you guys can't tell, but I'm like sweating over here. I feel like I'm a part of the team. I'm moving around with them. Like, I'm so invested. You would have thought that I'm doing the gymnastics. Like, they're sticking landings. You would have thought that I was doing it. It's like ridiculous. I'm just so proud of them.
Well, we know how much you loved floor, and that's where Missouri is headed. One rotation to go in this top 10 matchup. You don't want to miss how this one's going to end. Amari's excited. You should be too. We'll be right back.
Let's go, Tigers.
Back to Columbia, Missouri. Number 2 Gators, number 7 Missouri Tigers, but it's all Missouri Tigers. They hold over a 6/10 lead. They've stuck 7 of 18. They're flirting with that 40% margin that head coach Shannon Welker said was so important. I'm John Roethlisberger, Sam Pesek, Taylor Davis on the call as we look to the Gators now. A big mountain to climb if they want to get a win here today. Anya Pilgrim will lead things off. We talk about a consistent athlete. She is one, but they need to be more than consistent. They need to be exceptional if they want to give themselves a shot.
She wasn't in this spot last weekend because she was coming back from being sick, but back here to lead things off for them. Nicely done. Series, back handspring layout. This is an athlete that really enjoys this leadoff spot. Coaches say that Anya, Alyssa, Sky, those are 3 athletes on their team that really need to have a calm mindset when they're up there versus aggressive. There's 2 different styles, and you almost see it in the way that they move on the beam. You can predict which style they're thinking about or they enjoy when they're competing. Finishing gainerful, good stuck landing, had a few wobbles throughout that routine, but it was a hit routine.
They're going to need a little help, are the Florida Gators, in the form of mistakes from Missouri. It's really coming down to that now. Obviously, they need to hit, but they need to get some mistakes from the opponent. And both of these teams ranked in the top 3 on their respective events. Missouri on floor, Florida on beam. Rankings are nice, but we saw with Florida in that opening event, number 1 in the nation on bars. That doesn't automatically mean you're going to be great. You got to prove it every single weekend. Riley Jackson's been outstanding tonight and this season. Here she is leading things off on floor exercise.
teams that can start off with a 9-9 in the leadoff are going to be the ones that are in contention for a national title. Rayleigh got a 9-9 just last week. Front tuck into that double back. She just places her back leg back in the lunge position. We're gonna see it here in that first pass. Double pike and knows exactly where she is, doesn't move, that's the key. Judges do not want to see you move when you put that back leg into a lunge position.
I know I said earlier 9-8 scores keep you in it, 9-9 pluses win it. But for Missouri right now on floor, 9-8 scores are going to win it.
Yeah.
They've just got to keep putting those together, avoid any major mistakes. Alyssa Arana, the junior, now in the 2 spot, follows at 9.85 from Anya Pilgrim.
And it almost feels like there's already been a fall for Florida because they really need to go lights out for the last 5 of these athletes to really even put up a good shot for Missouri. Alyssa is so elegant when she works beam. I really like how she dances in and out of her skills. Almost a wobble on that full turn, and whenever gymnasts have a wobble on the full turn, there's always a little smile because you just have to kick yourself that it's the easiest skill in your routine, and sometimes it's the one that you have trouble on. Good finish.
I'm starting to think that idea that a full turn is easy is false because we see so many wobbles. Let's go over to floor exercise. Let's go back in time and talk about spectacles in sports. Goggles, glasses. Who made them famous? Maybe nobody made them more famous, Sam, than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then, of course, South Carolina Gamecocks, Sellers, he also did it. And then Rodrigo Blankenship, the kicker for the Colts. Everybody thinks kickers need glasses, by the way.
And Steven Nedorosik, we all know Steven from the last Olympics rocking the goggles. Of course, Morgan Hurd, world championship medalist.
But we're not done, Taylor.
Well, Ayla told me she's actually been competing in the glasses since about 5th grade. She was struggling with contacts and decided to just go with it. Her club coach found the strap that she still uses to keep them close to her head, but she told me it doesn't affect her spotting. She doesn't notice them in her peripherals because she's been competing in them for so long. She also said a lot of young gymnasts have told her, I was embarrassed about my glasses, but Ayla's making them cool.
I love it. How about an NIL deal for that strap holding on her glasses, Taylor?
Maybe it's her secret weapon because that first pass was really good. Finishing double back. Good landing positions. She lit this place on fire.
Missouri known for fun floor routines, and she fits right in, does the freshman.
Opens with a double pike. No movement. She knows it. Last pass, another double flipping pass to seal the deal for a really solid routine.
And maybe the best judge of a great floor routine, Amari Celestine, sophomore, by the way. Let me correct myself. Ayla Acevedo. Amari Celestine, man, she just never disappoints. Put her in front of the camera, put her on the floor in a leotard. She is always just so much fun. Sky Blakely now on balance beam. Alyssa Arana, 9.875 in the 2 spot.
Really difficult. Wolf turns triple. She's gonna do another set of wolf turns. This is a double.
What a save.
Wow. And it's so tough because she didn't need to do that double wolf turn. I really do enjoy these athletes that are bringing the difficulty, especially ones like Sky Blakely that still has hopes to continue competing in the elite world.
Yeah, her story well chronicled on her drive to make that 2024 team. She was on that team. All she had to do was get through the Olympic trials. Unfortunately had a torn Achilles tendon. Similar story, Kayla DiCello, her Florida teammate who's in the anchor spot on beam. Both of them really favorites to be on that team, and their dreams were crushed with injuries at those Olympic trials. But Sky is not done, and hopefully Kayla DiCello will make another run. I think a lot of people would like to see her in LA.
Finishing gainer full. She's really been working on building her confidence each week, and it's different competing from just a couple times a year to every single weekend, and that's a different kind of rhythm you got to get used to.
Tomorrow on ESPN and the ESPN app, we've got some big college basketball games for you at 6:30 Eastern time. Number 4 Duke takes on 14th ranked North Carolina, big time rivalry there. Then it's the border battle between number 25 Tennessee and Kentucky, and we cap the night with number 8 Houston squaring off with number 16 BYU. 9.925 for Ayla Acevedo in that 2 spot. Man, I tell you what, she's going to be fun to watch during the next couple of seasons for sure. Kaya Tonska now holds the lead in the all-around. This is a good event for her. MJ Frazier coming for her and just a 0.5 back.
We've seen her compete on these leg events throughout her career, but again, debut in the all-around, and I'd say it's going pretty well.
And 9.9 or better in her last 2 on this event.
Head coach Shannon Welker said an off-season goal was to be cleaner and better with their leap series, and he was so quick to say, I'm just really proud of that specific element of their floor routine because they got the tumbling down. Good control to move out of that last pass. Another really solid routine for Mizzou. They're just cooking over here on this last event.
And they're having a great time as well. Always. There's Shannon Welker. Such an amazing job. Last year's season, the best finish in Mizzou gymnastics history, but get a load of this. The best season in women's athletic history in the history of their women's athletic program with that 3rd place finish at the NCAAs. And hey, next year, 2026-27, the number 6th ranked recruiting class coming in. So Shannon Welker works some magic here in Columbia, and it looks like it's going to continue to roll. MJ Frazier now trying to catch Kaya Tonskanen. We'll see what that score is when it comes in and what MJ Frazier needs to try to win that all-around title.
She's such a beamer. I really enjoy watching her on floor, but I actually think her best event, my favorite event to watch her on, is this event right here. She's confident and aggressive, but there's something so artistic about the way that she moves in her dance. Good adjustment with her heel there.
Currently ranked in the top 20 in the nation on this event. She's going to need a 9.975 to win the all-around title. Tough task.
Big split jump, ring jump. We've been talking about different athletes like a calm mindset, some like an aggressive mindset. Head coach Jenny Rowland said that MJ can go with the wind. It doesn't matter. That's how I know she is just inherently a beamer, because she can do it anytime, any day. That was a little off center and managed to hang on to it at the end.
Strong beam rotation for Florida. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's a little too late. Got late early for the Florida Gators with that bar rotation, unfortunately.
This is her series. Watch her foot at the end here of this layout. Her toe was completely off, and then she just scoots it back on, but her upper body does not wobble at all. That is veteran move.
9.925 for Kaya Tonskanen. Now Kamara Eccles, the freshman, in the 4th spot. Missouri Tigers look like they aren't going to be happy just getting the win and kind of strolling through this last rotation. They are putting an exclamation point on this meet.
She's been really solid on bars and beam for Missouri, but adding floor there too. Big full in.
I think she stayed in bounds too. I believe that foot was inside the line.
Judges want to see you finish with your legs together at the end of the leap series. She had a bit of a split. Well, it's clear her future is bright. There's a few details that, in my opinion, are really easy for her to clean up. I mean, how could you not smile from start to finish, though? Super engaging floor routine. She's got the difficulty right here, but it's that adjustment at the end here. She's trying to save it in bounds and didn't quite put her front heel down. Just a small deduction, it should be.
Just 2 to go for the Missouri Tigers on floor exercise. 2 to go for Florida. One of them, Selena Harris Miranda, 4th in the NCAA on this event. Top 6 on every event, including the all-around. Tremendous athlete. MJ Frazier, 9.875. That all-around title is going to go to Kaya Tonskanen in her debut in the all-around. Tremendous.
Well, we know how well Selena scores in the all-around, but beam is actually her highest scoring event, just slightly, with almost a 9.95 average. And we've been talking a lot throughout this show about adjustments and quickly moving your body and replacing it, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect. You can make it work no matter what, and I think Selena is one of the best at doing that. You add that with the having the watch me mentality is what the coaches say, and that's what you want for somebody that's an anchor or towards the back of the lineup, because it doesn't matter what type of pressure is on them leading up. They welcome that. finishing 1.5 on her toes. She was a little
Saved it.
off today throughout her 4 events, and that's really saying a lot because I think she is just so solid every single time she competes.
I know it's dangerous to correct you, but vault, she was not off.
You're right.
I mean, that was like a knife.
But the fact that she had one event that was off is an off night
Yeah,
for Selena. That's
okay.
how good she is.
I will go with
is
that.
the point I'm trying to make. She is just such an all-around athlete.
She was like a lawn jart on that. You know what a lawn jart is? People who are my age out there
No.
know what a lawn. It's like yard darts. They made them illegal because they're too dangerous, I think.
Well, guys, you see down here on the floor, this Missouri team is completely loose, dancing, having a good time, energetic, and you would think, obviously, it's the 4th rotation. They've got a comfortable lead. I'm telling you, they've been like this the entire time. Like we mentioned at the beginning, 4th consecutive week facing a top 3 team in the nation. They've been tested and tested early, but the looseness, the energetic approach they've had tonight, really consistent throughout.
Love it. Kennedy Griffin now, she's gotten a 10 on this event. She's 19th ranked in the country. I'll tell you what, if she gets a 10 right here, this roof might come off this place.
Gotta find those landings.
It's not going to take a 10 to win this competition for the Missouri Tigers. It's only going to take a 9.375. I'm pretty sure Kennedy could sleepwalk through this routine and get that number. This is going to be a big win for the Tigers.
And she wants a big score. Last week, she got a 9.925, hoping to build off that here. She's 1 for 1 in terms of solid landings. Let's increase that to 2. Leap combination, feet all the way around, feet finishing together. This is going to be a really high score for Missouri. Opens with a nice double pike. Had a lot of momentum, but did a good job of holding her chest forward to keep that front foot planted. Finish double tuck. Good vertical position when she landed.
One more to go, and it's Hannah Horton in the anchor spot for Missouri. But before we do that, we're going to go to beam for the final gator. It's Kayla DiCello. She will follow Selena Harris-Miranda's 9.9. Nicely done there. Kayla DiCello, a world all-around bronze medalist. We've talked about the resume of this Florida Gator roster, but this is not something new for the Gators. They have had high-end elite athletes on their roster for many, many years. In fact, get a load of this stat, Sam. If you added up all the world medals from anybody who's been on a Florida Gator roster, the Florida Gators alone would be the 4th highest ranked country in the world if you go back to the year 2000 in world all-around medals. Insane.
That is a good stat. So you're saying they're kind of good. Doing a double wolf turn now. That's a change she made last weekend that they're sticking with. She felt a lot more confident adding some difficulty in the wolf turn, but downgrading her series to just a back handspring layout instead of that triple series coming up next. Good back handspring layout. She does look really confident and comfortable up there. There's something about on beam when you get a routine that clicks. It's just fun to be up there and to have no hesitation, no doubts. That's what I see from Caitlin. That's the vibe that she's giving off. One of those athletes that likes the aggressive mindset, and I really see that throughout this routine. It's going to be a really good score for Kayla DiCello, another confident routine she can add to her belt.
Great finish there for the Gators. Not the night that they were hoping for. It's going to be the first blemish on their SEC record here this season. Now to finish things off for the Missouri Tigers, who else? Double H, Hannah Horton on the floor. And this place is just ready for a big-time routine. If anybody can deliver, it's this athlete.
Well, she ran track in high school as well, and you're going to see throughout this floor routine why she is a true athlete. High-flying skills, big double layout.
4 out of 5 of her scores this season, 9.925s.
What a fun spot to be sitting in, going to the last event, having such a significant lead and just letting loose, letting it rip, and putting up these big scores, calm, controlled landings. Most certainly gonna be another 9-9 plus routine for the Tigers.
The Missouri Tigers had never beaten a #2 ranked team in the history of their program. Well, that statistic is no more. They get the win, the biggest dual meet win in the program's history. And Shannon Welker said all the milestones fall by the wayside. The only thing left is to beat a #1 team. They're going to have that chance in the postseason, most certainly. But man, what a night for the Missouri Tigers. And there you go, highest ranked win. Congratulations.
And even though they haven't gotten the wins, man, you can very clearly see the potential and the route that this team is on. They're building off of the success they had last week or last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Shannon told us, he goes, this is really one of the best seasons we've ever had at this point of the year when you look at scores. And that's one of the hard things for people following the sport, because wins and losses are not the most important thing. You've got to put up big numbers. You've got to have that scoring average later this season. Your national qualifying scores got to be high. Put yourself in a good position to get to the postseason where scores really do start to matter, where you do need to win meets. But right now, they put up big scores and they put them up consistently.
Well, they definitely want to make a trip back to NCAA championships. And head coach Shannon Welker said, if you're in the room enough times, then you're going to have enough opportunities to get the job done. They're hoping that this year could be a step in the right direction.
Well, Taylor Davis is with what I suspect to be a very happy head coach. Taylor?
I think you're right about that one, John. Coach Welker joins me now. Coach, the highest ranked win in Mizzou program history. What did this one take tonight?
Yeah, just some grittiness. I mean, you could see both teams were a little bit off tonight. We were not perfect by any means, but we had some people step up in key moments and deliver. And sometimes it's the team that can be the most adaptable. And that's what I told our kids tonight. I said, hey, you guys, you kept it on the tracks, and then you closed strong on floor. So, yeah, just really proud of them. You know, it's just what we do, quite honestly. We just keep doing stuff like this, so.
You guys have been tested early this season, 4th consecutive week against a top 3 team in the nation. But what are you continuously learning about your team as they continue to be tested?
Yeah, I think we just had to, everybody wants to win. We were scoring well, so, we couldn't be disappointed there. And we just kept getting better. Obviously, they're a fun group behind me there. So, but, I think we just said, hey, you just got to stick with it, and we will get the wins as well as the score. So, really proud of them tonight. They did it harder and win, and that's a great team on the other side of the mat.
Kaya Tonskinen, all-around debut, and she gets the all-around title. How would you assess the depth that you're developing?
Yeah, she was pumped. When we sent out the lineups last night, I could just tell she was starting to come into her own a little bit. She went to World Championships. She needed a little bit of some down, and now I can see now we're on our rise a little bit. So I was really proud of her tonight. So excited. She wanted to compete all around. She's a competitive young lady.
one of many that you've got on this team, Coach. Congrats on the win. Enjoy it.
Awesome. MIZ.
Done.
Thanks, Taylor. Happy coach, absolutely. Kaya Tonskanen, 15th all-around at the World Championship, Sam. Hard to believe with that ability, this is her first all-around win in college.
I think it's her first, but not her last.
And then she is having fun with her team right there. Finally, we got that Hannah Horton score to come in. It was a 9.85. The judges were really putting us on pins and needles for that one. That'll do it from Columbia, Missouri. The Missouri Tigers get the win, 197-2 over the Florida Gators. Be sure to tune in next Friday for a championship-level showdown. Number 1 Oklahoma heads to Gainesville to take on number 2 Florida. We will be there. For Sam Pesek, Taylor Davis, and our entire crew, I am John Roethlisberger. So long from Columbia.